Hello, good evening. Hope we had a pleasant day and hope our week so far has been productive. Yeah, it's been a while, but then quickly, we're talking about something very interesting, something we hear about day to day, something we might have experienced or someone around us has experienced, something that no matter the level of exposure and education we've gotten, we still fall back to it. Yes, we still fall back to it. So, in the society at large, when a man takes a wife, especially in a relationship whereby there was no sex, or the girl said she's a virgin and there'll be no sex till marriage. Now, this man has the idea my wife is a virgin. He has a mental picture of what to expect on their first night of consummating their marriage. Now, it happens that day, and then, of course, he slides in and it just goes through. No, it just goes through. Now, first thing to come to his mind is this girl has been lying to me, and that automatically is the end of a marriage that just began. That could be possible, but that could also not be the truth. She could really not be lying to you. Now, women vary. Most women have vaginas. Not all women that have vaginas have hymen. What is hymen? Hymen is the thin piece of tissue that covers a woman's vagina. That's a hymen. So to say, whatever a man has to go through to penetrate a woman, that thing you have to push through to penetrate a woman is called a hymen. Some women actually are born without hymen, and some have hymen. I mean, different types of hymen. Some, even though born with hymen, naturally lose their hymen without sexual intercourse. No penetration, nothing at all, not even an object penetrated. Yes, the hymen actually is thin initially. As the lady advances in age, it gets thickened, gets rigid. At a time, it's absent. Naturally, it wears out, it thins out. It could also tear out. There are a lot of factors that can affect the variation of a woman's hymen. Yes, there are a lot of factors that affect the state of a woman's hymen. First of all is the hormone, her hormonal level. The level of estrogen in a woman can either make the hymen thicken or thin or absent. The age, the younger, the thinner. The older, the thicker, and then it gets absent, it wears out. Physical activity, the kind of activity this woman is involved in. Physical activities like horse riding, bull riding, climbing trees, these typical things that you do not have to stretch out your leg muscles, you stretch out. When you stretch out, you could tear the hymen. This woman, of course, has had no sexual experience for the first time. Use of tampons. Of course, we know tampons are being inserted. Yes, some women prefer to use tampons for convenience and maybe just preference. They just like the convenience it comes with. Now, tampon has been inserted into the vagina. Now, that could also cause loss of hymen. So, of course, she has never had a sexual experience before. Yes, she hasn't. Then masturbation. Some people actually break their hymen through masturbation, depending on what they use for the masturbation. And some, even when they do it, there's no bleeding, there's no pain. What does that tell you? Meanwhile, someone else tries it, there's severe bleeding, there's severe pain. And then they are different, that women, we are different. Our body is different. That your friend's wife, um, you know, it was celebrated. The husband even bought her a car. Yes, because some people go as far as they make it so obvious. Like in some communities, when a man takes a bride, the family actually lays a white bed sheet spread out on the bed for them to consummate their marriage on the first night. And it's expected that in the morning, the man brings off the blood-stained bed sheet to show to the parents, sometimes the community at large. Now they celebrate this woman as being virtuous. They buy her gifts, expensive gifts. They kill cows. They celebrate her virtuousness or the virginity. Now, in some cases, while while maybe in the course of the sexual experience and all that, no bloodshed, no pain, this guy is thinking in his head, whoa, what just happened? And the next morning, there's nothing to show to the family. Now, sometimes the woman is being scorned, like you lied, you have no, you're loose, many things. And then sometimes it even ends a marriage that just began. Issues like that. Because automatically there is a breach of trust. This man doesn't believe the woman anymore because the girl has told him this and that and this and that. And everybody is expecting, that kind of a thing. And then it happens. But then, from these things I listed, it's obvious that it could be the case, it could not be the case. Now, generally, women have 10 types of hymen. 10 types of hymen. There are 10 types of hymen, yes. And each woman has her own, Now, I grouped them based on ease of access. Yes, like accessibility. What I mean access, I mean penetrating. So I have the ones that are impossible to penetrate. Okay, let me start from the one impossible to penetrate. Now, some women are born with their vagina sealed totally. Their hymen covers up the whole vagina. There's not even a dot. Now, that's called an imperforate hymen. For an imperforate hymen, there is no level of pressure you put that can break that open. It is only it is only opened through a surgical procedure. This woman has to go to the hospital and then they create a hole for her. Now, for this kind of hymen, of course, severe pain. I mean, very severe pain and very severe blood loss. Some bleed for days, like some are on pain pills after their first, you know, they bleed for as long as. Then we have the ones that are difficult to penetrate. That is as in comparing it to the imperforate. So that's the microperforate and the cribriform hymen. For the microperforate, the word micro means small and perforate means to open, means it has a small opening. Now this looks like the imperforate, just that it has a small opening. Now that small opening cannot, of course, allow the passage of an erect penis. So for the penis to pass through, the woman has to go through very severe pain, very severe pain. And then, varying amounts of bleeding. But then most times it's severe too. Yes, from moderate to severe. Now, there are ones that, moderate to penetrate, like you can glide in. She's gonna feel some pain, but not so much. Do you get? She's gonna feel some pain, but not like, compared to the other ones. That's the septate hymen, the dentate hymen, and the lacuna hymen. Now these ones, there's moderate blood loss, there's moderate, it's bearable. Yes, the woman can bear it. She could take some pills, but then the man knows he broke through a barrier. The man feels the barrier. Like the other two, you feel the barriers. Then you are the very easy ones to penetrate. Oh, very, very easy. Typically the labial hymen. Now this is so easy. The man can easily glide in. The woman will have little or no pain. Yeah, little or no pain. And then little or no bleeding. But she's a virgin. That hymen, that vagina has never been tampered with. But then the man sees the ease at which he enters, and then in his head is thinking, oh, I thought she said she's a virgin. Why is it so open? Why is it so loose? You know? Now already is breeding distrust. Then the worst of it all is the introitus. Yes, paros introitus. Paros introitus. This woman is born without a hymen at all. It's all open, like you can easily go in. Now, of course, after the first encounter, it doesn't. The ease won't even let the man complete the act. Like on the first penetration, he jumps out. Wow, what happened? I thought you said, and then that's the end of a marriage that just got started. Now, even if he wants to satisfy the pleasure for that moment, after that moment, nothing she says, he can never believe anything she says again. But I want educators that there are situations like this. Do people lie? Yes, people lie. But there are still good women out there. There are still women to be trusted. She tells you she's a virgin. Please believe her, unless you have other reasons not to trust her. And mind you, there are so many things people do now to make it look like they're still virgins anymore. Of course, yes. Hymen is stitched back these days. Hope we all know that. But men, you shouldn't, I don't know why this should be a barrier. You're in a relationship with a woman, with a man, you guys love each other. What matters is your present. Forget about the past. The man looking for virginity test might have had multiple women out there, like a chain of partners. And when it comes to settling down, he wants a naive, innocent girl he wants to marry just to fulfill the fact that I've been the only one there and I'll remain the only one there. Now, you marry a virgin today doesn't mean she'll make the best wife. You marry a non virgin doesn't mean she'll make the worst wife. It's all on the individual. We should do better. Like let's let people keep asking me, my wife is so loose. My wife told me she's a virgin, but then, you know the woman you're married to. Okay, fine. How does she even check if you yourself are a virgin? How does she check that? But she doesn't bother. She knows you belong to her now, and that's all that matters. Why do we go digging in for things that mean nothing or don't matter? I mean, everybody has a past, even if she wasn't a virgin. And so, and if she was, and then doesn't make her the best woman on earth? We should get educated. Now, the internet is not just for WhatsApp, Instagram, TikTok, name them. We learn. You should ask. You should ask. You have Google. Google knows all things. We should be informed. Let's not break our homes or scatter wonderful things we've built for ourselves based on what? Why would you want to rip apart something you built for so long? A relationship of 3 years, of 4 years, of 6 months, of a year, and then you spent all the money to get married, and then you found out, okay, fine, this is not what you're expecting, and then you ruin your home. Now, some people don't even have the mind to break the marriage. They continue the marriage, but then they turn the home into hell because they feel the woman lied to them. Isn't necessary. It's not necessary. Women are different. Our anatomies are different. What I experienced as a woman, your sister might not experience it. Our body types are different. We all vary. So please, let's know better and do better. Thank you. Have a good night.